Hello and welcome back to day 4 of building my app in public. I just wanted to give you a quick demo of what I built today. So the idea was, I touched on this over the last couple of days already, that a new feature in Lotti is cover art for a task, just to make things a little more personal. And then the idea is, when looking back at, let's say, what I did in January 2026, sometime in the future, have some kind of a visualization with maybe little tiles or some Instagram style grid layout of what I did in a certain time. And for that, it would be helpful to have some kind of a thumbnail, so that I don't have to look at some boring wall of text, basically. And the last days since beginning of the year, I built this cover art feature itself. But so far, I was only able to generate a prompt in Lotti that I would then paste into Google's AI Studio and then have Nano Banana Pro build that image for me. Then I thought, like, oh yeah, well, why would I want to leave the application for that when the image generation is also available via API call? And then today I set out to build this, and under 6 hours later, it's completely done and released and available on FlatHub. And yeah, let me just show you how I started this. So I started this whole task with basically some stream of consciousness talking of what I wanted, and then use Lotti, this application that I'm building, to generate the prompt that I then pasted into Claude Code, which then in turn generated the implementation plan. So far, I think this is my 84th or 85th implementation plan that I actually commit in this repository. You will find it in the pull request, and the link will be in the blog post and the accompanying blog post. And I think to date, this was quite possibly the longest implementation plan, with around 1,100 lines of Markdown. And then I spent the first almost 2 hours. That's probably also the longest I've spent on an implementation plan over the past couple of months. But I think it was totally worth it. And then reviewing the plan again and again, and not only by myself, but I also used Codex. Codex 5.2 to review this. So my stack has changed a little bit over the past couple of months again. For some time, I used Codex for almost all my coding. Somehow that doesn't work well anymore. I think it's become way slower, and versus Cloud Code with Opus 4.5 is fast and it's quite good. It's still a bit on the sycophantic side, I think, but overall it's really solid for building code. Versus Codex, the 5.2 version, I find it quite grumpy, which as a reviewer is actually quite good. So currently my workflow is Cloud Code for building things, and then Codex for reviewing it. So for the implementation plan, I did that 3, 4, 5 times, rounds of review in those almost 2 hours, mostly with Codex, but I also let Cloud Code review the plan. And then I started with the implementation phase, just giving Cloud Code the green light and have it built. Then with a couple of refactorings later and focus on missing tests. In the end, this turned out to be a pull request of, like, I think almost 7,500 lines. Okay, 1,100 lines implementation plan, and the rest code and tests, with over 90% test coverage. So yeah, that turned out quite well. And let me just show you in action. If you want to review the code, go have at it. As I said, the link will be in the blog post. This also involved adding a new model and also a new functionality for adding known models to a provider that already exists. That before wasn't the case. If I had defined Gemini as a provider once, it would not automatically create prompts anymore. And here I can now add a model and then afterwards add the prompt accordingly. So that's also new. And ran into a couple of issues. This was very far from a one-shot AI development. It was actually quite involved in terms of going back and forth and reviewing code and what was going wrong. But in the end, it worked quite well. Also here, the new checklists, which I really enjoy, the new layout. But for that, yesterday's posts will tell you more. And yeah, now let me show you in action. So first of all, here are a couple of done tasks that I finished over the last couple of days. And when I scroll down and see all these here without, it's just a wall of text. It's not very engaging, versus I find this quite cute and engaging and helpful and exciting to look at all these thumbnails, and they do evoke memories. That's quite cute, much more than the headline of a task would actually do. But now, without further ado, let's create one. So implementing due dates and task count layout refinements. I don't really know I'm what to use here. Something what I have in my mind right now is this Salvador Dali painting with the melting clocks. So something with that general idea of visuals, and then yeah, just something that fits the context of this task. So like really, even if you don't have an idea, just some general guidelines. I have no idea what's going to come out of this, and that's the fun part of using it. And let's see, so it's running the speech recognition right now, and now we can say generate cover art. So now this sends the prompt that I just create, or the guidelines, but it will create a prompt that contains all the information that I have about the task. So I can also go quite specific and say like, I want the logo of some library that I had problems with, or something. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, this is fine. This is yeah, this is good. And I accept it as cover art. I think going forward, I do want to hide these automatically down here, because as soon as they are set for a task, they don't really need to be shown there again. But yeah, as far as my demo for today goes, this is what I wanted to show you. And going forward, you can expect a lot more places where these logos and thumbnails will actually come up. Oh, just one final note. So the idea here is these images are created in a 16:9 aspect ratio, but also the prompt contains the guidance that the main action should be in a square that then also functions as a decent thumbnail for the task. And let's see. Yes, this is what I mean here. And this is all I have for today. And yeah, have a good day and see you tomorrow.